Hi, here is the second video in the series 10 short videos that answer the most important questions from product management and marketing. How to prepare a marketing budget, a real-world example. Marketing budget preparation explained in less than 10 minutes. Welcome! Imagine these two situations. You have 5 ideas or requirements to pay for, activities, projects, total 150,000 euro. But your marketing budget is only 25,000 euro, less than 1/3. Or the second situation. Colleagues are waiting for ideas from you, and your marketing budget is the same 25,000 euro. Both situations have the same solution. In the first example, the marketing budget is much less than the requirements. We use here this example to show you the logic. As the reality is, the value of planning is determined by the fact that you can choose the really necessary things from a set of many others. And if you can't find those, then to propose those. First, collect the information about the markets or market segments where your company can work or is working already. When we say the market here, we mean products or service with comparable characteristics. For example, measurement equipment with the same accuracy when it comes to measuring equipment market, or copying machines with the same performance when it comes to copying machines market. For example, if you have 5 products that are sold within 3 markets or market segments, you will have a picture like this. Feel free to pause here to look at more details. Here we show you how to visually separate markets, products and requirements to better see the big picture. If it has not been done yet, it is necessary to choose the markets for investing the marketing budget. In order to do so, you should answer at least 2, but the more the better, of the questions below. Are there strategic markets among these? For example, the key markets according to the company strategy, or the markets where you should absolutely have a new key customer to make the reference customer with a success story, or the markets where a good growth is expected within 1 to 3 years. Whether you have invested already in one of these markets, and if so, then what were the results of these activities? These first 2 questions are about your understanding where to go and what you have already done there. Regarding the strategy, we already have showed you a video earlier. If you have a sales history, then there are 3 more questions for you to plan better. What is your sales history within each market in the previous year and for 3 years? You need to know what percentage of your total income brings you each market. It can be the case that one of your markets brings you more than 80% or 90% of your total income, and the remaining markets bring you less than 20% or 10% of your total income. Do you know your market share or the size of each of your markets? Do you have a sales plan for the year you plan marketing activities? If your colleagues are planning to sell 2 or 3 or more times in the year comparing to the previous year, then you should have doubts and ask if the plans are feasible. In this situation, you need to pay much more attention to the ROI of the previous activities and to the business plan for the coming activities. For this, we make a separate video later. Now you need to divide your marketing budget so that it takes into account the results of the activities of the previous year and the strategic plans of your company. If you know what percentage of sales each market brings you, please make a small check. It may be the case that colleagues from the market, which brings you 1.5% of your total income and can grow twice up to 3% of your total income, apply for 60% of your marketing budget or more. In this case, you should not give them more than 1.5% or 3% of your budget. If no activities are possible within 1.5% or 3% of your marketing budget for these small markets, you should think about sharing results of some other activities with colleagues from these small markets, like giving a part of catalogs or publishing something on your web page. Now you can make the first draft of your marketing budget. Later, this draft should go through the synchronization process with your colleagues and your managers. For example, if markets number 2 and number 3 bring the largest part of your company profits, or if markets number 2 and number 3 are strategically important for you, then the largest part of your marketing budget should be invested there. For example, 85% of the budget, 85% from 25,000 euro is 21,000 euro. You're welcome to pause here to look at more details. We show here that unfortunately we cannot provide a separate budget for the first market in this example, but only support it with general activities. And when it comes to the second and third markets, you're supposed to use 85% of your budget there. If there is such a big difference between the requirements and the existing resources, you can suggest your colleagues to consider the activities within the given 7,000 euro instead of the requested 30,000 euro. For this purpose, your colleagues can separate their request into small shares, into small parts, until they get only the absolutely needed parts of the requests. If it doesn't work, then you should consider doing one activity for multiple products or multiple markets. The less activities, the more the budget for each activity. For example, instead of doing 2 activities, 7,000 euro each, you can do one activity for 14,000 euro. So, within our example, 85% of the marketing budget, which is 21,000 euro, you use within the strategic markets, which are markets number 2 and number 3 within our example. And the remaining 4,000 you either use as reserve or invest for some very interesting activity outside of strategic market, or invest for something for your company. Kind regards and see you soon.